everyone. Welcome. Are you really?
I'm laughing at your face.
My face?
Yeah.
My face is funny? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the interracial marriage tag, and that's why Adam is here again. Say hello.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
I have a list of questions here. I asked on Facebook again some questions that you might have for us outside of what we talked about with the husband tag. So we got a few questions submitted, and then some of them are just kind of standard for interracial marriage tags. So we'll get started.
Are you asking me these questions, or are there questions for us?
Most of them are for both of us.
Okay.
Okay. First question is, what is your race? I am black.
I'm 100% white boy.
100%.
100%, as far as I know.
When did you know that you were attracted to other races?
Kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, maybe in first grade. It's probably first grade.
because you like that girl. What's her name? Keisha?
Tamika. I don't remember her last name. I just remember Tamika. But yeah, I was afraid to talk to her.
Right.
I mean, I grew up in Arkansas, so I grew up in the South. So I had family and whatnot. Used to make comments and stuff that made me think it wasn't supposed to happen like that. So I didn't really act out on it until probably after high school.
And I grew up in St. Louis, and my elementary school as well as my high school high school was more mixed, but my elementary school was predominantly black. I remember we had a few white kids, but for the most part it was black kids. So it didn't happen. Probably it was like a celebrity like crush thing. Like, you know, Brad Pitt, stuff. I would have posters on my wall, stuff like that. So I knew that I thought that all races of men or boys were attractive. You know, anybody, you know, can be cute. They gotta be black to be cute. So I guess that's when. Wasn't really a conscious thing to where I was like, oh, I think I like white boys. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, no, for me it's just, I always just, if you was cool and you look good, but
right.
It was just a natural attraction. I don't guess I ever really saw skin color. I knew it was, I grew up in the South, obviously I knew it was a big deal to certain people, but it was never a thing. Attraction is an attraction.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you only date outside your race?
Well, considering I haven't dated in over 13 years.
Okay.
But no,
you didn't like only date black girls or something?
No, like I was saying, go if you was cool, you was cool. I was gonna talk to you.
And mine is definitely not just no. How does your family feel about your partner's race?
My family doesn't have any issues with it. Not at least my direct family. From my grandparents. Well, my grandmother's one that's left. She's 93 years old, I think, and she has no issues with it. Not me, one of my parents, my brothers. I'm sure I got some kinfolk down the lines that probably had something to say. I know it did. When my grandfather passed away, you came to the funeral when you were pregnant with Madeline.
It was some looks.
Yeah, it was it was more an uncomfortable feeling. Then no one would say nothing to no one because.
Right.
No one's gonna say nothing to me because I don't care at the end of the day. Because I mean, they blood, but I don't know them folks.
And as far as my family, no. I think there was some initial, and there's other questions where we'll get into it. So I won't tell about the meeting of the family yet because I think that's a little further down the line. But I think there might have been like some what. Something like that. What? Come here, mama. It was like that, but it wasn't anything to where I was like, you know, had a problem with it. Have you ever had family members or coworkers comment disrespectfully about your relationship?
think so.
I don't think so either. Not to my face.
Not to my face.
Not that I heard. No. I've had some, like when we first started dating or when I decided to marry him, I had a couple of my friends ask me why. Like, why was I? But I think that it was so long ago. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I had been married before. And, you know, we were both going through divorces and getting out of relationships. So I think, if I remember right, it had more to do with why are you jumping into something so fast rather than why are you marrying a white man?
Yeah.
How was meeting your families? It was cool. I mean,
yeah, I think
it was funny because my grandmother, when I first brought him home for Christmas, we were overseas and, you know, we had to fly back and all of that. But I was talking to her on the phone before we were, you know, getting on the plane. We were set to come like the next week. And I was talking to her. And I don't know, I was just talking like normal. And I hadn't like come out and said, hey, Granny, I'm dating a white boy. I had talked to her on the phone. It didn't, to be honest, I wasn't hiding it. I just didn't say it because he's Adam, you know? So, but anyway, this day I was talking on the phone to her and something I said made her pause. And she was like, is he white? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh Lord. You know, she just kind of paused and she told me later, but she said she just had to get off the phone and go take a nap.
I think her exact words was, oh Jesus.
Yeah, she said, she was like, oh jeez, I done told this white man he could stay in my house. So, you know, Granny was kind of, you know, it just made her pause. But it didn't last long. My cousin Kristen, and I'll tell this story to the day we die. He had been at the house, what, 3 or 4 days? I don't know. We had been there a minute, and she's 10 years younger than me. But she was walking through my grandmother's house, and we were all sitting around.
Maybe 13, 14 maybe.
Yeah, because I was 23, 24 when I met you. So she's 10 years younger than me. So, she was walking through and we were playing a game or something. It was all of us sitting around in the living room. She was walking through and somebody said something about Adam being white and she stopped and she was like, he's white? And everybody was like, what do you mean is he white? She was like, well, I thought he was just light skinned. I thought he was a little light skinned. I didn't know he was white. So when I say we fell out, and no, Kristen, I will never let you live that down because that was ridiculous.
It was funny. It was funny.
And then when we met your family.
Yeah, so we drove up. Where was my family at the time?
Mississippi?
Yeah, they were. They were down in Keesler, or Biloxi. Mm-hmm. No, and give you a little backstory. My oldest brother, who I consider my blood, you know, I consider him my biological brother, even though he's not. But he moved in with me and my brother and my family when we were. He was 15, I guess it was. So I was maybe 12, 13 years old, and he's black. His name is Kelton. So Kelton moved in with us, you know, when I was in high school. So it was really never any racial tension like that in my direct family coming up, whatever. Mm-hmm. So when I brought Camille home, it really wasn't a big deal to them at all. My mother, yeah, she gonna love whoever. Yeah. Whoever I love, that's who she gonna love. That's just what it is. Cause she, Lord knows, I done brought some things back in the past that she was not. All of them? Well, she was nice to all of them.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. She was nice to all of them. She's
nice to just about everybody. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But no, I don't think there was any issues there. Kelton, I don't think he's dated a black girl that I ever remember. Maybe
He's
one.
telling his business that ain't have nothing to do.
But I'm just saying. That's my family. It wasn't the first time they was being introduced to
interracial
relations.
Yeah.
My best friends one of my best friends growing up was biracial. Most of my friends growing up, my guy friends that were black, they mostly dated white girls. It really wasn't the first time that they were introduced to interracial relationships. So I think it really wasn't a big deal to my family.
Do you think that it's easier to date within your own race?
Easier? I don't think I ever really thought of it like that. Being easier or harder. I know you deal with sometimes, like you could kind of, like when we lived in Oklahoma City, we go to a restaurant or something and you kind of, thunder.
Whoa.
But, you feel the eyeballs staring at the back of your neck like they felt like they wanted to say something. So from that aspect, maybe easier, I guess, if you want to look at it in their terms. But as far as easier or harder, I don't really think it's one way or the other for me. About you?
No, I wouldn't say that it's easier because every person I've dated, you're gonna have your quirks. It doesn't have nothing to do with. Like even when he's talking about Oklahoma, I didn't feel nothing on my neck because I don't pay attention to people like that. I haven't had anybody say anything sideways to me about it. Good grief. So no, I don't believe so. I don't think so. I don't really understand the questions.
I don't know. I think sometimes
if our families were the type of families to cause us grief about it, that's the only thing that will make it hard for me. I don't really care about the outsiders. You know what I mean? And since we have supportive families and friends,
I think maybe too because we're military is I think being a part of the military, you really get integrated. Like you're not allowed to let race become an issue when you're at work and those types of things. So maybe you kind of get immune to it from that aspect, and so people don't really say anything. So maybe we're a little different than the average person because we did grow up in the military where you can't be racist, you can't make those types of comments, you can't belittle people or have those types of points. You can have those points of view, but you have to keep them to yourself, type of thing.
Do you worry about your kids being bullied? Not because of that.
No.
First off, our kids, like to me, my girls look mixed, but to most people they don't. Dylan is not mixed. Do I think that, I've had them say, when I'm revealed at the school, I come up there for something, or I pick one of the girls up and people are like, oh, that's your mom? But they haven't told me that they've been bullied, and no, I don't worry about it.
And besides that, I think our kids got strong enough personality that they're gonna handle themselves. Dylan's probably only one of the three, the only boy, but the girls are pretty aggressive. From that aspect, they're very vocal.
They don't take
opinion. Dylan probably wouldn't say nothing until he came home, maybe.
I don't know.
But Dylan ain't gonna get picked on. I know people have said stuff like, "Oh, that's your dad," but it's never been an issue with anybody.
And it's not as rare as it was even 5 years ago. You know what I mean? It's not as rare, I don't think.
Yeah. I think people are starting to accept it, and the ones that don't, they fly a little flag around. We know not to go around them.
Exactly. Do people stare at you when you go out? Nah. Yeah, sometimes they look. It's a lot of us too, so. But when we're like on a date, I don't notice it. When I tell you, I do not trip off people around me when I'm just living my life.
I know back when we first started dating, even though we were overseas, it was very Americanized clubs and stuff that we would go to. People would say stuff because I'm kind of I'm a hip hop head, so we go into hip hop or R&B type of atmospheres, and you know I'm usually one of the few white people in the club, and I got tested quite a bit when we were younger.
Yeah, when we were younger.
You know, somebody want to challenge me or say something, but I never had any major issues outside that one time. I had a smush to do for being disrespectful, but for the most part, I don't think so. I know. I guess a lot of the bars and stuff that we went to, even when we were hanging out with your mom, sometimes they just don't put us together. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes just don't. They don't know who I'm with. They know I'm with somebody. Yeah. So if we're not sitting together, sometimes it became a problem in the past. But I never really been the type of person to trip because she gonna handle her business. If she gonna tell him to step off, that's my husband, that's my man, whatever. And they usually will respect that in most cases. And when they don't, then I'll come in and I'll say something, and then normally they'll diffuse it because I'm not the type of person that's going to pop off or try to swing or nothing. It's just not my. No,
we too old for that at this point anyway. Be fighting folks. No. So yeah, if they do look or stare, that's I don't know.
That's their problem.
That's their problem.
Made me want to hold her hand or kiss her in front of them. They got a problem with it.
How do racial stereotypes affect your relationship, if at all? Stereotypes? Okay. Only thing I can kind of think of is like he had this boss, and most of the time his bosses, they tend to call me like
Hurricane Camille?
Yeah, stuff like that, or tell him, oh, he better watch out, you know. We really know who the boss is or stuff, but just kind of, and it used to bother me when I was pregnant with Addison because it seemed like they would just automatically assume I had an attitude when nobody really ever even talked to me. All those people, they said hi and bye for the most part, but they just assumed that I was on the rampage all the time. Mind you, I was pregnant, and I do have resting bitch face, so I might have looked like I had an attitude, but no, I don't like it when they assume that I run over him or that I you know, that he jumps every time I say something, because that's totally the opposite.
But no, I think what'd you call it? Resting bitch face?
RBF?
I don't know if I've heard that. But yeah, I mean, you do kind of walk around with a meme on.
And I know that.
Just naturally, but it's not that you're mad. So I think part of it is until you're comfortable in an environment, you don't really have a whole lot to say sometimes.
Or all it takes is somebody saying something to me. You know what I mean? Then my face changes because it's not resting anymore. It's active. So.
Yeah, I don't know any of the stereotypes.
No.
I don't have anything for that.
This was for you. What do you think of my natural hair?
I like hair, no hair, because she's actually one of the people that walk the earth that can actually sport it either way. Because when we first started dating, she had hair. She had you had your perm, you had go back up on
relaxer,
all that stuff. So and then you cut it all off and you wore it like real short.
Grew it back. No, when you originally met me, I had the low cut. Even though I remember it.
Yeah, and she's never been much into the wigs and
I was for a minute.
You had some.
Yeah, I used to do the half thing, and then later on, I got a few sew-ins when I was transitioning. But
I like your sewing still. I like hair, but I'm good with no hair too.
Natural hair doesn't mean no hair.
Well, I know. I'm just saying short hair.
Because my natural hair actually had gotten pretty doggone long at one point.
I like your natural
You didn't want me to cut it off then.
Yeah, I like it.
It just happened that way. Yeah. So he likes it. He approves. All right, so now I'm going to get into some of the questions that I got from some of my Facebook friends and followers. Do you sometimes regret marrying a different race?
Not at all.
No, I don't. I will say that I would say around the time I'm from St. Louis, so I want to say when Mike Brown got shot, but it might even go back to Trayvon Martin. But that stuff affects me like profoundly. Like I get irate. Sometimes I can't form a sentence and I sound like a belligerent, mad woman. But you know, sometimes he's a lot more rational in his thinking on stuff like that. I can't. I'm getting better, but for the most part, it drives me insane. But he does a lot, or he used to. He doesn't do it as much. He does a lot of devil's advocate, this, that, and the other. Let's look at it from both sides. And to me, with some of those situations, I don't look at it because the other side is the damn devil, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't look at it from, and you know, him saying that to me, it would like seem like he was taking up for the wrongdoer in the situation, even though that's not what he was doing. He was just having a conversation.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't have an opinion on it. Sometimes I just try to understand both sides, so I can form an opinion, and sometimes I don't.
Right, Adam, but you have that luxury on some of these things because you're not black. I can't help it. Like, I'm talking about these specific cases of like this police brutality and stuff like that, where it's definitely a racial thing. When it first like popped off for real, and that's why I can't decide if I want to say Trayvon Martin, if I want to say Mike Brown. Mike Brown, I took personally because I grew up there. I grew up in Ferguson area. I grew up there. So that like hit me like somebody punched me upside my head. And he can sit back and he can, you know, look at it from afar, distance himself from it, and I can't. I feel like it's happening to me. I feel like it's happening to my brother. I feel like it's happening to my friend that I went to school with. Sometimes it is, because, you know, and I just feel like he can separate himself from it and realize that, you know, it's the world and things get ugly, and, you know, let's just take care of ourselves and, you know, make sure that our family is going to be, and it's going to be okay. He can look at it as it's going to be okay, and I'm like, it's never going to be okay. And that's me. I get emotional about stuff. That doesn't mean that I regret it. I'm just saying that's the only times where I was like, oh, I just wish he could feel this like I feel it, because he don't. You know what I mean? Not to say that he doesn't care about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to get my words twisted. He does care. It's just it's natural that it's different.
I think I tried to I guess like the serenity prayer in a sense, you know, try to accept the things that I can't change, and know when I can change stuff, and then make my opinions and try to change my behaviors to,
I can't do the serenity prayer with that stuff, sorry. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
No, stuff bothers me a lot. Those instances in general bother me. And, you know, I would lean more your way than anybody else.
And I know that.
But,
I know that.
I mean, what can we do? We still have to feed 4 kids. We still have to go to work.
Yeah, and I'm not letting it stop no show. I'm just saying, sometimes he says stuff, and I'm like, oh. So, anyway. But no, that's definitely not a regret. It's definitely, no.
But
no regrets.
Yeah, but just because you brought it up, I tend to, because of the way I did grow up and the friends I grew up with, I know that stuff exists. It's not like I
right. He's never telling me,
exist.
Well, no, but I think like even with Trayvon Martin, we all know now that George Zimmerman is a freaking psycho. But at the time, he said something about how tall Trayvon Martin was, or something about his size. and all of that. And to me, all I'm thinking is George Zimmerman should have stayed his not a cop ass in the car like the police told him to on the phone. But he jumped to the altercation. And, you know, we know George Zimmerman was getting his ass whooped. That's why he shot him. So, you know, it's just that. We just have, like, my brain will already be at the finish line and he's taking the steps to get, and I'm just like, no. So, there's that. He's a lot more logical thinker than me when I'm emotional. We picked a crazy time to film this.
Yeah, we did.
What are some of the ups and downs of marrying? It's a regular marriage.
Yeah,
it really is.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it's kind of funny when that question made me think back to like when I was in high school, and when I was and mind you, I graduated high school in 1995. So through my high school years, again, I said earlier, a lot of my friends were black, and they dated a lot of white girls. And I remember the conversation, like, I remember hearing other girls asking other girls when I was around, "Hey, was it different kissing a black guy? Was it anything different?" And I think that's the biggest thing is like people really expect there to be some type of a difference because of the color of your skin.
No.
At the end of the day, we still people.
We're all people. And if there is a difference between the black boy you just dated and the white boy you date now, it has nothing to do with their race. They just two different people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sex, any of it. It's not. That's silly.
Yeah.
It's so silly to me. But as far as the ups and downs, it is really just.
It's a relationship.
It's a relationship. We have the same ups and downs in our marriage as any other.
Yeah, just
we get on each other's nerves. Sometimes we super in love. Sometimes I want to thump him in his eyeball. What?
I get on your nerves.
You get on my nerves. But no. The ups and downs are the same as everybody else. I can't give any specific to an interracial marriage.
Nah.
Oh, are racial slurs ever uttered during arguments? Absolutely not. No, we don't call each other any names. No names, no insults like that when we fighting. We arguing, we talking about the matter at hand. We not attacking each other as people. No, that would never. No. Nope. Not here.
Nah. We try to refrain from even using those words, and we know, we know a lot of times the N-word or cracker or whatever is all thrown out in terms of endearment from time to time, but we really don't even do that.
I don't even like saying it in like songs, and it don't have nothing to do with him. It's just sometimes I feel awkward about it, so I don't do it. I'm not gonna say I never do it. If I'm singing Beyonce and she sounds I'm sorry. No, I might say it every now and then.
You know what's funny? It reminds me of Nyla. Nyla's 15, so it was about 2-3 years ago. I can't remember if we were in a car, we were listening to something. It was just me and her. And we went through the song, and I knew the lyrics. I was like a Tupac or a Jay-Z something, I don't know. Anyways, I didn't say the word. And then she looked at me and she said, "You can't say that, can you, Dad?"
Oh, like you skipped it because you can't even say it.
I was like, no, I chose not to say. I can say it because I'm not being derogatory towards nobody, but at the same time, I just try not to.
No, and I hate, even if he's singing a song, it would make my hair on the back of my neck stand up if he does it. So, I've never done this. How do you deal with the, 2 more questions. How do you deal with the hatred of the world that frowns upon interracial marriage? I don't deal with hate.
I can't say the F word, but forget about them, I guess, because I don't care.
It doesn't affect us. I hate to say that because I know it does for a lot of people, because I watch these tags and I've heard these stories, But no, really, honestly, it does not affect us. I don't give a damn if they have a problem with me being black and him being white or not. And I'll never know if they do, because they're not going to say it to my face.
Yeah, we live in Alabama, and I don't trip on it. I don't think about it. I don't really care. We've been together so long now. It doesn't really cross.
It wouldn't register with me. I wouldn't even. No.
I probably get more offended now with the LGBT community or whatever, because it seems like that's where more of that hatred is geared to more than interracial relationships these days.
Ooh, these lights.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like everybody on this earth, regardless of race, skin color, sex, whatever, everybody deserves to be happy. Yep. And whatever makes you happy, you have the right to do that. So I guess that's maybe why we both feel that way. Maybe that's why we don't really think about it.
And the last question is, we already touched upon it actually. Is it difficult to speak to each other regarding racial crimes and hate without offending each other? I think sometimes I'll get into my feelings a little bit about it, but he's not saying anything sideways, you know what I mean? I try not to say those white people or stuff like that, because that's not how you shouldn't speak in general terms anyway. I don't care who you talking to. So I try not to say that because that's not the truth. If I'm talking about cops, I say bad cops, corrupt cops, because I know there are some good cops out there. So I'm not going to say all cops. Just like I'm not going to say all white people. That's stupid, because then I'll be talking about him because he's a white person, you know? So, but I feel like I do kind of pick and choose what I talk about with him.
Yeah, I do the same. Because she's a lot more emotional, and I wouldn't say opinionated, but
I am opinionated.
Well, you are opinionated, but you have strong convictions sometimes in your opinion, and sometimes trying to talk it out, we don't get anywhere. So sometimes I kind of know what conversations to go into and what not to with certain things when it comes to those types of issues. But at the end of the day, we tend to typically agree.
Even if our language on the subject is not the same, we still have the same bottom line on it. You know what I mean? Like, he might not go into as many points about it or get up in arms about as many details about a situation as I will, but in the end, we usually agree on a spade being a spade. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And that's it. That was the last question. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good. This ain't my scene. I'm just here to enjoy the ride. I think you should kiss me though. See, that's that face.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment down below. Let us know what you guys feel about what we talked about. I really enjoy talking to you guys that way through comments on Facebook and stuff like that. Yeah, and I guess don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I have jumped up in subscribers a lot. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the growth. So thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to do so. Let us know if you want to see anything else from us.
Thanks for supporting her. She does put a lot of time and effort into it, and she really does try hard to make good videos. So
yeah,
thanks for supporting her. I appreciate it.
Eat your sweet. All right. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.
Deuces, holla.
Hey guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.